that's probably reining that in. Probably going to be the hardest.
All right, everyone. Yeah, if you would, that'd be great. Thank you. Well, hello, everyone. Want to welcome you to the first meeting in 2022 of the State House Judiciary Committee. My name is Chuck F. Stration. I chair this committee. Look forward to working with all of you this session. And we have a busy agenda today with some great items to discuss. But before we get into our agenda, we have a very special recognition to begin with today. It's my honor to tell you today that we are going to recognize former Chairman Wendell Willard with a picture that is hanging in our committee room. You can see here, and will be remaining for many years to come. And Chairman Willard is here with us today, and so I want to. So if you aren't familiar, if you haven't been around the Capitol in the last 22 years, Chairman Willard has been a licensed attorney in the state of Georgia for over 50 years. He was born in Decatur, Georgia, and grew up in DeKalb County and attended Georgia State University and Atlanta Law School, earning his Juris Doctor. Chairman Willard served our nation honorably as a United States Marine, and he continued his public service as a member of the Georgia House of Representatives, first taking office in 2001 and serving until 2019. 14, I believe, of those years were as chairman of this committee, of the House Judiciary Committee. And I know that many members around here knew Chairman Willard not only as a resource for questions that they might have about law in a variety of different areas, but also as a mentor and someone who they knew they could look up to and get honest, unbiased advice and direction that would be very helpful. Chairman Willard is an expert, particularly in the areas of local government law, real estate. He's a practicing trial attorney. In the General Assembly, he was known as a stalwart, policy-focused leader who worked on a multitude of critical issues for the state of Georgia. And I love this quote I found in the media. This is from former state representative Mike Jacobs, who's now a judge in DeKalb County. Wendell is as good a legislator as they come. He has a tremendous depth of experience as a lawyer, and as chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, he does a great job bringing that experience to bear in ways that really benefit all of Georgia. I think the recognition that Chairman Willard received from many of the organizations that are here in the room today and work throughout the Capitol. He's twice received the Legislative Award from the Georgia Council on Aging, received the Leadership Award from the Department of Human Resources, Legislative Award from ACCG and GMA, and received a Lifetime Achievement Award and recognition by the State Bar of Georgia. Chairman Willard currently is working as senior counsel with the firm of Freeman, Mathis, and Gary in Atlanta, and he and his wife Vicky, he told me, are spending some time in Florida right now. She's there because they have two dogs at the house, and so she couldn't be here today. But I know we'll get pictures and be able to send to her. But it's my real honor to tell you that when I asked the speaker if it'd be all right to hang a picture of Chairman Willard in the committee room because of just how important he has been to me and been to so many of the folks in this room, I think there was a universal recognition when I talked to folks about this idea. And even here today, we have many of the former staff attorneys from the Judiciary Committee who are here with us to recognize Chairman Willard. And so at this point in time, I'd ask you to join me in a round of applause recognizing Chairman Wendell Willard. Say anything.
Well, you know, there's two pictures now up here. Does anybody know who the other picture is? It's been in this room for ages and ages. That is Thomas R.R. Cobb. Thomas Cobb was the author of the first codified laws of Georgia in 1860. I don't know if he's been here that long or not, but it's really an honor. I'm humbled by this event. this opportunity to come back to the Capitol and see so many old friends. Yes, I do have a number, like from the stand-up people who were my law assistants back during sessions and for several years working with me. And Jordan, Catherine, Brandy, Chad, and God knows I've lost your name. Susie. That's right. Hey, Miss Susie. Sorry, I'm sorry, Susie. But this is what really made my success, if anything, as a legislator. I always had good young lawyers serving with me and working and working on the drafting and changing and reading of bills from time to time. We just be down here late at night sometimes doing it. So I'm very honored. I want to tell a joke if I might. This is Clarence Peeler, who was a fine judge and jurist out in the Stone Mountain Judicial Circuit, tells a story about this irascible judge back when he was practicing law, and none of the bar liked it. And so the poor judge died in office, and has been a practice they would take up a collection among the lawyers and put his portrait in the one of the trial rooms. So they started trying to get a collection up. Nobody would give him money to. So finally, there was a lawyer named John Wesley Weeks, Judge Weeks, said, well, I'll start out. I'll put $200 in. Then the family put up the rest of the money. So they finally got the portrait painted, and they held the dedication during the time they were having hearings for motions. So I had all the lawyers there. Oh, they get the lawyers to come to the meeting for this dedication was doing a motion calendar. So at the end of it, they do the dedication. Two lawyers stand there, look at the portrait. They said, you know, that's a real natural picture of it. Good portraits. Said one lawyer. The lawyer said, yeah, looks like he's just about ready to commit error. So that's kind of the way I looked, I guess. Well, thank you all again for this opportunity to come back to the Capitol and see so many good friends I have. And Susie, I apologize. I couldn't remember your name for the second there, but there's Rusty. Yeah. Rusty's been here longer than anybody has, but he's always late. Great to see you, Rusty. So again, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is really a great, humbling honor, and I just know how to express my appreciation for it.
We're very grateful to have you today and invite you, Chairman, to join us as we have a committee meeting for a few. Yeah, or you can go. We have just 3 bills on the agenda here today. Yes, and what we'll do is
there's my street lawyer coming in.
What we'll do is roll right into those. I know we've got a lot of folks here that are interested in legislation. But before I get to that, I want to introduce our staff for the 2022 legislative session. So you all know Anterica Fuller, who is the administrative assistant in my office, does incredible work and makes sure all of our notices gets out, makes sure everyone who is interested in serving as a witness has a chance to put their name on the list. And so get to work with her this year. We also have a brand new staff attorney in our office. Brock Perry is sitting here with me, and Brock has really hit the ground running, started in December and is doing excellent work. So very excited to be working with Brock this session. And if anyone has any questions or ever wants to figure out what's really going on, talk to Brock. We also have some wonderful interns and externs working with us this session. And our intern, Brenda Cruz from Georgia State University, is with us. And so if you see Brenda in the office, be sure to talk to her. And we have 2 legal externs who we'll introduce when they're here next. So at this point in time, we'll go ahead and move into the agenda. We have the first bill on the agenda that I'm going to call is I actually call the last one, House Bill 961. This is LC 44-1842. We had the LC number on the original version of the calendar and an amended calendar released today with the bill once it was formally assigned to the Judiciary Committee. So as you all may be aware, I think many members of the committee are aware of this, the Supreme Court of Georgia issued an opinion in Alston and Bird versus Hatcher Management in August of 2021 that interpreted the apportionment statute to apply in a way that if there was only one defendant in a civil action and damages were awarded, that defendant would be responsible for 100% of the costs related to the judgment, irrespective of the jury determining that maybe fault or liability percentage-wise would accrue to a different party. The bill that's before you today is House Bill 961, is a proposal to address the specific issue that the Supreme Court noted from the existing law. And I am aware that we have a letter in the folders here from about, I counted it in I think a subsequent draft, but about 56 different organizations from the business community or corporations, insurance providers that are supportive of HB 961. I want to thank all the participants who have worked on this legislation so that we could come to an agreement, come to a way to address this question, and could do so with one bill that really gets to the heart of the issue that was presented. So are there any questions about House Bill 961? Number 14, Representative Walensky.
Just first question, can I do a motion to call Chair Willard back in and ask him the intent of line 12 when they drafted this?
Your opportunity for that is passed.
I'll call it so. And just one comment, this wonderful letter says that all responsible parties should pay their fair share. And I'm just a little confused because with this legislation, you're bringing in a party that doesn't pay if they're found responsible. That wasn't a question, I guess.
Well, I will answer questions with respect to the legislation, not any letter in support of it. Any other questions? All right, very good. Well, at this point in time, I'll hear a motion. There's a motion to pass from Chairman Fleming. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. The question before us is House Bill 961 LC 44-1842. Is there any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, it passes unanimously. It's on to rules. Okay, we have two other bills before us here today. Okay. All right, we'll take up first Chairman Cantrell's bill. If Chairman Cantrell, if you'd like to come forward. Actually, you're fine. You can stay right where you are. Which number are you, sir?
I don't see a number on here either, my friend.
Let's try this one. Can you test the mic? Okay. All right, we got you.
All right. Sorry about that.
Yeah, if you'd like to present House Bill 56, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And committee members, if you remember, almost exactly a year ago, I appeared before this committee to present House Bill 56. We were a little anxious in our request. It passed unanimously out of this committee. My DA was here. The Chief Superior Court was here. My commission chairman testified by Zoom, all in favor, obviously, of this legislation, and you guys voted it out. Really, nothing has changed since then. Our workload, if anything, has just increased across the board. If you look at our judicial and civil filing, criminal and civil filings, they basically increased 10% over last year when I was here. So it just exasperates the need that we have for an additional position. Our judges were operating at 1.5 last year. So that number's only gone up in the year since I last appeared before your committee. So I'd ask for favorable consideration.
All right, and just to repeat, this committee passed this bill out last year. We also have a letter in the folders from the, oh, just misplaced it. Here it is. From the Judicial Council of Georgia that provides the Blue Ridge Judicial Circuit is number 2 on the list of needs for an additional Superior Court seat. Any questions for Chairman Cantrell? All right, hearing none, I'll hear a motion. Motion do pass in a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. As to House Bill 56 is introduced, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, next we will hear House Bill 624. Chairman Taylor, yes, that's perfect. And this is a substitute to House Bill 624 LC 44-1848S. Chairman Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I'm very happy to be here today and thank you for hearing this bill. I'm here to talk about the South Georgia Judicial Circuit. It consists of 5 counties in rural South Georgia. It's Baker County, Calhoun County, Decatur County, Grady, and Mitchell counties. The circuit currently has 2 Superior Court judges and 1 presiding judge. In the last year, we talked about this bill and we needed to wait for some funding and things to be put in line. But the last time this Superior Court judgeship was added to was in 1978. In other words, our Georgia football team, our beloved Dogs, have won 2 national championships since we got another judge, and we need it. That's 44 years, guys. Currently, we're ranked number 1 in needs. The new judgeship by the Judicial Workload Assessment and the Judicial Council have said it's really needed. According to this assessment, each of these judges are doing 1.8 Superior Court judge more than they should. It's obvious. And though they would love to be here today, I think we have somebody on Zoom, but it's a day up and a day back. And I think it's obvious what the need is. And I would really appreciate your consideration of this bill.
Well, thank you, Chairman Taylor. I will note also the South Georgia Judicial Circuit's number 1 on the list of the Judicial Council of Georgia for need. And we also heard testimony and support for this legislation in the 21 session.
That's
It
right.
passed out of committee, right? Okay, we do have one witness who's requested to speak. It's Joe Mulholland, who's the district attorney for the South Georgia Judicial Circuit. Mr. Mulholland, we will hear from you at this time. We will need to unmute you. If House Media Services could unmute Mr. Mulholland.
Mr. Chairman, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I'll be very brief. I would just mention that I've been the DA down here for 17 years, and we've had 2 Superior Court judges. In that time, both my office and the Public Defender's Office have pretty much doubled our staff in that 17 years, but we still have just 2 Superior Court judges. So obviously, I think there's a need, and I appreciate all your time.
Thank you so much. Any questions for the DA? All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Posture's now where I'll hear a motion. The motion do pass in second. Any further discussion? Any amendments? Hearing none. Question is on House Bill 624, a substitute to House Bill 624 LC 44-1848S. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, it's on to rules. Chairman Taylor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, that's all the business before us today, and we are adjourned.